Welcome, friends, to another episode of Rhythm and Revelation. Today we are diving into Sarah's shadow. So, in this story, God displays his boundless grace and mercy, which turns even the darkest valleys into paths of light. Join us as we delve into Sarah's story, a tale of pride's peril and humility's healing power. Our storyteller will begin by painting the picture of Sarah's early life, reliance, and innocent spark that ignited her descent.
Sarah was born in a town so small, the high school football field doubled as the county fairground. Every Friday night, folks packed the bleachers, cheering louder than church on Sunday. And little Sarah, with her two tight plaits and freckles like cinnamon sprinkles, was always in the front row, waving a homemade sign. Number 1 student, number 1 heart. By 10, she'd won every spelling bee. By 16, she'd captained debate. Oh, she loved a good argument. And every Saturday, she'd sweep floors at the animal shelter, humming hymns while she scratched behind the ears of dogs nobody wanted. "I do it to help," she told reporters later, chin lifted just so. "But honestly, it looks ace on my college forms too." Everyone clapped. Teachers beamed. Her mum pinned ribbons to her backpack like medals. And Sarah? She believed the ribbons, believed she was special, believed "I've got this" was a prayer all its own. So when she zoomed off to Chicago, 28, glossy hair, glossy job, she didn't pack God. She packed confidence. Lakeview Flat, rooftop parties, marketing campaigns that won gold plaques. Prayings for people who need luck, she'd joke, clinking champagne flutes. Then came the rain. Black ice on the expressway. Metal screamed. Airbags bloomed. And Sarah woke tasting copper and hospital jello. 6 fractured ribs. Doctor wrote, oxycodone, 30 pills. Take 1 every 6 hours. You'll be back at work in a fortnight. Oh, how easy it was. Pop a pill, feel brave again. Pop 2, feel invincible. Just till the pain's gone, she promised the mirror. But the mirror started to blink back, slowly, sweetly, like a secret friend. And every time she whispered, "I've still got this," the tiny white tablets whispered louder, "Maybe you need us more than you need him." And that, my dears, was the spark.
As we reflect on Sarah's confident facade, let us remember Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before prejudice, a haughty spirit before a fall. Now our storyteller will guide us through the subtle unraveling of her world.
Months blurred. First she was missing 1 client call, blamed traffic. Then 2, blamed a migraine. By spring, she was missing whole afternoons, curled on the bathroom floor, with the shower hissing loud enough to drown the phone buzzing. "Tell them I'm strategizing," she'd text her assistant, fingers shaking as she swallowed another pill. Mark noticed first. He found foil wrappers behind the sofa, counted them like breadcrumbs. "Sarah, these aren't vitamins," he said one Tuesday, voice cracking. She laughed, sharp, bright, proud. "Everything's under control, babe. Don't be dramatic." That night she hid the rest in her makeup bag, lipstick tubes clacking like tiny bones. Next came the emails. Performance concerns, irregular attendance. Sarah printed them, folded them into neat squares, then swallowed a double dose just to make the letters stop swimming. By summer, she was late everywhere. Late for drinks, late for rent. Friends texted heart emojis turned to question marks. "You okay, babe?" She'd reply, "Just busy winning." But the thumbs up emoji wobbled, like it knew she was lying. She started selling things. Earrings her gran gave her, pawn shop on Wabash, $20. The gold watch Mark saved 6 months for, $30. Each time the cash till dinged, she felt lighter? No, empty. But emptiness was easier than shame, so she popped another pill and kept walking. The job went last. Fired in a glass-walled conference room, boss reading from a script. "We wish you well." Sarah nodded, smiled, said, "No worries, I was already planning something bigger." Walked out with box of framed awards, heels clicking like typewriter keys spelling failure, failure. Back in the flat, silence pressed in. Mark's half-empty side of the closet gaped like a mouth. She called her mum. "Everything's brilliant, just a career pivot." Then hung up before the crack in her voice gave her away. That night she scored off a stranger behind a petrol station. Pills in a crumpled receipt. Took 4, told the ceiling, "I don't need them, they need me." The ceiling didn't answer. The pills did, warm, soft, promising no more mirrors, no more prayers she didn't believe. And just like that, the girl who once debated God in high school essays was alone, without even a whisper left to ask him back.
In these moments of despair, we see the whisper of Romans 5:8, where God's love persists even in our sin. Let our storyteller now lead us into the pivotal night that shattered Sarah's illusions.
February. Wind rattling the windows like an angry fist. Sarah's radiator had coughed its last that morning. Cold seeped through the floorboards and up her bones. But the real chill was inside her head. She'd pawned her coat 2 weeks earlier. Now she wore a threadbare hoodie over her pajamas, hood up like armor, and shuffled barefoot to the alley 3 blocks away. 5 pills, she begged the dealer, voice small. He smirked. 20, and she scraped every coin from the sofa cracks till her fingers bled. Back home, kitchen light flickered once, then died. She didn't care, knelt right there on the lino, pills rattling like hail on a tin roof. Counted them out. 1, 2, 3. Paused. Just 3, she told herself. But the room spun anyway, so she took 5, then 7. Mouth dry, throat burning. Curled on the tiles, she thought of Mum's voice. Soft, worried. From the last call. "Sarah, please come home." She'd snapped. "I'm not a child." Now she was on all 4s, crawling to the fridge for water that wasn't there. Phone. Where'd she? Black. Later, how much later? She woke choking. Someone's face above her, blurred and blue-gloved. Sirens wailed like babies. Needles stung her arm. "Narcan," a voice barked. Her chest exploded, air rushing back like judgment. In the ER, the nurse wiped her cheek with a cloth that smelt of lemon. "You're lucky, love." Sarah tried to laugh, cracked, wet. Nothing came. They wheeled her past curtains, an old man crying, a teenage girl puking into a bowl. Alone in the loo, she stared. Face gaunt, eyes ringed purple, hair matted like seaweed. For the first time, the mirror didn't blink back at her. It stared, hard, until tears blurred both reflections. She pressed her forehead to the cold glass. "I was supposed to have it all," she whispered. The fluorescent light buzzed like a question mark. And then, tiny, ridiculous, she started praying. Not fancy words, nothing from debate team speeches, just, "Help, please, I'm scared." The door opened behind her. A chaplain poked his head in. Gentle eyes, silver beard. Didn't speak, just handed her a tissue. Nodded like he'd heard that prayer 1,000 times. Outside,
Through the trials of recovery, we witness James 4:10. Humble yourselves before the Lord and he will lift you up. Our storyteller will now share the transformative steps of Sarah's healing journey.
rehab smelled like bleach and green tea. Sarah's first day, she sat in a plastic chair, arms crossed so tight her nails left moons. Everyone went round the circle. "Hi, I'm Joe, ex-truck driver, been clean 3 months. Hi, I'm Lisa, stole my kid's lunch money." When it got to her, she just shrugged. "Sarah, whatever." Till Maria, the teacher with kind crow's feet, leaned in and whispered, "Say it proper. Say, I'm Sarah, and I'm powerless. That's step 1, love. Powerless." The word tasted like gravel, but she said it, voice wobble, eyes on floor, and nobody laughed. In fact, they clapped, slow, gentle, like patting a scared puppy. That night, she cried in the shower, so hot it turned her skin pink. First honest tears in years. Next morning was chores, peeling potatoes with a boy called Miguel, who'd once shot up in a church basement. God still showed up, he grinned, handing her a lumpy spud. He shows up in potato peelings too. Sarah snorted, then stopped, because why was her chest warm? By week 2, she was making Miguel's bed, folding his blanket corners sharp like her mum taught her. He left her a note under the pillow. Thanks, means more than you know. She kept it in her sock drawer for always. Group therapy was harder. Had to read her own list. Things she'd lost. Job, Mark, mum's trust, dignity. When she read Mark's name, her voice cracked like thin ice. The room went quiet. Then Lisa said, I lost my husband the same way. But guess what? He writes me letters now. Clean ones. Sarah tucked that hope in her pocket like a pebble. Slips happened. Week 6, she snuck 2 tablets from the nurse's cart, hid them in her bra like contraband candy, sat on her bunk staring at the foil, whispering, just this once. Maria found her there. Didn't yell. Just sat, took the pills, flushed them. Then she told Sarah about the time she, Maria, relapsed after 12 years. Humility, she said, is picking up the pieces and saying sorry out loud. Sarah wrote the word on her arm in biro. Humility. Didn't wash it off for days. At 12 weeks, they let her call home. Emily answered. Hello? And Sarah burst like a dam. I'm sorry, Em. I'm so sorry. I need you. Emily came, drove 8 hours, brought Sarah's old debate trophy, the one she'd pawned, and set it on the windowsill. Thought you might want reminding, she said, that the girl who argued the sky was purple is still in there. Just quieter now. They hugged till their ribs hurt, like little girls again. Discharge day. Sarah packed 2 outfits, the biro-scarred arm, and a tiny wooden cross Miguel carved from a popsicle stick. Stepped outside, real air, and the first thing she did was kneel on the gravel and thank Jesus out loud, even though her knees got scraped. Maria watched from the door, eyes shiny. That's step 12, she called, carrying the message. Sarah didn't feel fixed, but she felt held, like the world wasn't hers to win anymore, just hers to walk through, one humble step at a time. And for the first time, she wanted to.
As Sarah's story concludes with the renewal, we praise Jesus Christ, our Redeemer, who will never abandon us in our weakness, but draws us closer through humility.
2 years later. Same flat, different color. The once stark walls were now soft sage, hung with finger-painted pictures from kids at the community center where Sarah counseled every Tuesday. Mark hadn't come back. No dramatic reunion, just a polite coffee where they wished each other well and parted like grown-ups. But Emily visited every Sunday. They made pancakes shaped like crosses and laughed till butter spattered the stove. Her sponsor Maria had moved to Florida, but rang every Friday at 7 sharp. How's humility today, superstar? And Sarah would always say, working on it, because the truth was, the craving still whispered sometimes, like wind in a chimney. Only now she answered back, out loud, not today, Satan. Jesus has me. She kept the popsicle stick cross on her bedside, rubbed it like a worry stone when nights got long. One stormy April evening, the power cut out, just like that February blackout. But Sarah didn't panic. Lit a candle, opened her Bible to James chapter 4, read aloud. God gives grace to the humble. The candle flickered. She felt it, like warm breath on her neck. Him saying, see, I was always here. At 32, she looked 32, not 50. The hollows had filled in. The eyes had light. She wore no makeup to work now, just lip balm and a smile that reached her ears, when a girl called Jade said, you look like the kind who won't judge me. Sarah whispered back, never. Been there. And every morning, she knelt, not on cold lino, but warm carpet, and prayed, thank you for breaking me so you could build me better. Thank you for the shelter, for Emily's pancakes, for Maria's tough love. Thank you for humility that taught me I'm not the boss. You are. The lesson. Pride locked the door. Humility handed God the key. And Jesus? He never once knocked. He waited till she opened it herself and then carried her through. The end.
So, friends, in Sarah's humble rise, we learn that true wisdom comes from bowing before our Creator, as the Bible teaches us to cast our burdens on Him who cares for us. May this story inspire you and embrace you in humility in your walk with Christ, knowing He is ever faithful. Until next time, go forth in His peace and grace, praising Jesus, our eternal